My legs are dangling off the edge. The bottom of the bottle is my only friend. I think I'll slip my wrist again and I'm gone, 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 gone. My legs are dangling off the edge. A stomach full of pills didn't work again. I put a bullet in my head and I'm gone, 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 gone.
You may have noticed that my intro was not the same as usual. It was a song by Hollywood Undead. The name of the song is Bullet, and if you are wondering who that person was in that picture, that person's name is Rachel Wallace. She's a very good friend of mine, nice, random, dorky, and she will be on the show next week, for sure. That should be pretty interesting to see. It will be my first ever joint vlog. My name is Johnny Mejia, and this is a vlog. A vlog is kind of a video diary, but also I tend to add some news in here, which is where I'm tending to push the show for today. I want to make it a combination of vlog and a combination of news. So I'd also like to apologize for last week. I looked at some of the videos last week and I realized, wow, that was pretty immature and I was pretty hyper. You guys know what I mean? It's kind of like you take naked photos of yourself and you send it around to somebody. Like, you think it's a good idea at the moment, but then you look back at it and you're like, why did I do that? And that's kind of the same thing here without the nudity. First off, I'd like to start off with the news section of this vlog, and something that I think is very worth mentioning. It is the nuclear radiation levels of Japan. It has now surpassed or is equal to Chernobyl. Chernobyl was the biggest radiation plant disaster ever. So Japan is actually caught up with them because the radiation levels have spiked so high that they have reached level 7 in the radiation scale, level 7 being the highest rating in the radiation scale. They came out saying that they humbly accept their mistake, quote, and they are sorry for any disturbances and all the trouble they have caused. Now, if they think that apology is going to fix everything, they're pretty mistaken. Honestly, this nuclear crisis, they needed to be more prepared. And speaking of government needing to be prepared, let's talk about our government. We barely avoided a government shutdown recently. What is a government shutdown, and what did we exactly avoid? Basically, Congress was arguing about the next budget for the United States of America and where they were going to put money in things such as healthcare, social security, police, military spending, all that stuff. And both sides finally came to an agreement after a lot of arguing, and 1 hour before a government shutdown would have gone into an effect. What is a government shutdown? A government shutdown is the closing of non-essential government-run services such as museums and national parks. This would have cost taxpayers millions of dollars and would have been actually horrible for the United States of America, which I believe isn't what we need right now. I think this is a very good example that us Americans, we can stay together and we can unify even if we disagree for the betterment of the country itself. Because if they didn't agree and both sides didn't agree to cut certain things that they wanted, or, you know, not cut certain things, all that stuff, then we would be in the middle of a government shutdown and we would be losing money, which is not something we can afford. Speaking of unity, Facebook. Yes, I'm talking about Facebook on Facebook, if you're watching it on Facebook. What do I have to say about Facebook? As you may have seen in the social network, the Winklevoss twins were two people suing Mark Zuckerberg for stealing their idea of Facebook. So, yes, they sued them and they got a $20 million financial settlement, which they were content with at the time, but that was 2008. It is now 2011, and Facebook has blown up and is worth way more than that. It is actually worth an estimated $160 million, which is obviously $140 million than before. So what they tried to do was go to court, take an appeal of their settlement, basically have them take back the money and get $160 million instead. However, they did not approve of this, seeing as when they agreed to the settlement, they agreed that they would say that they were fine with Mark Zuckerberg stealing their idea of Facebook, and they were not allowed to. The judge ruled that this just could not happen. So I guess that's good news for Mark Zuckerberg, even though he could have spared the money. I mean, he's filthy rich. You know he's rolling in it right now. Money, not drugs. Speaking of social sites, I did a Chatroulette experiment. What did I do? I actually went on chatroulette.com and I spinned. And in case you do not know what Chatroulette is a website where you set up a webcam, such as the one I have on at the moment, and you click a button and you randomly connect with someone in the world that is also using the website and also has a webcam. Well, I'll tell you about my experience. The first video I saw was a guy masturbating. I am not kidding. Obviously, I clicked next right away, because as soon as someone's video comes up and if you don't like it, or you don't find them appealing or something like that, you just click a button and you randomly connect with another person. So as soon as I saw that, I clicked next and I was like, wow, the hype and the fabled male nudity of Chatroulette is in fact true. So I decided to continue and click the next button, because I'm not going to let one thing discourage me. So I continued. The second video I got was a creeper looking kid. He was 14. We looked at the screen, we stared at each other for about, I'd say 14 seconds. I waved and he clicked next. When they click next, you're automatically basically forced to click next yourself. So I was randomly connected with two 18-year-old girls. They were pretty hyper and they were pretty chill. They were fun to talk to, but there is a moral to the story. Honestly, Chatroulette connects you with anyone in the world. It makes you realize that the world is in fact small. I know this might sound kind of weird, but it's kind of exhilarating to be able to travel from place to place without having to leave your room. By just looking through a camera, you're traveling, because it doesn't just connect you to people in the United States, which is a mistake that some people make. And I recommend that you try it and you figure that out yourself. Chatroulette is obviously risque, because there is a chance of male nudity, but what's life without risk? A life without risk is a life not lived. Speaking of which, I am trying to improve the quality of the show, and I'm trying to keep all the topics I have germane and relevant to the situation. What does that mean? I am actually using a run script. What does that mean? Well, a run script is a series of notes. Not an actual script, but notes that I've taken throughout the day so that I do not forget any topics, and that I keep my memory sane. I keep my memory. Here's some of the things that I have. Here's some things I have written down. I would also like to mention in this video that from now on I will be doing Formspring Q&A separately from this video. It will be in a separate video, and I will put that annotation somewhere in this video. However, it will not be posted soon. It will be posted on Wednesday or Friday, depending on how many questions I have. And right now I have 5. If you want to send me more questions and make that show a little bit more interesting, here is my Formspring account, and you just send me any question you want, and I promise I will answer it on the show. Before I leave, I would like you to check out this video, annotations right here, of this girl. She is a sweetheart. She has an amazing voice, and I think that you should hear it, and just comment, rate, subscribe to her. Her name is Kimberly, and we do go to the same school together. And my final words to you is the quote of the day, and the quote of the day of today is that the human race is passion. Now I'd like you to comment if you agree, disagree, and why you think that. My name is Johnny. This was my vlog, and I will see you later.
I wish that I could fly way up in the sky, like a bird so high. Oh, I might just try. I wish that I could fly way up in the sky, like a bird so high. Oh, I might just try. Oh, I might just try.